on your month to month, because there's also a monthly service fee for all the resources and services that you use on a day-to-day basis. So how does that work? Particularly if you say you need care later. What happens to your monthly fee? That's really what we're talking about now. So, some CCRCs offer this contract. This is called a fee-for-service contract. Again, you don't have to get too caught up in the terminology because there's so much of it, but fee-for-service, or type C as they're often called. But the way this works is you'll pay your monthly fee when you move in. Again, that can be different depending on the community, the size of the unit, and so forth, and the services and what's included, all of that. But whatever it is, you'll pay that monthly fee. But let's say later on you need assisted living within that community, or you need skilled nursing care along that. I mentioned all that's available, right, within the community. So with this model, as you need those services, you'll pay more for those services at that time. And we all know what nursing care can cost. It ain't cheap, right? So with this one, you pay more as you go. You pay for the care as you need it at whatever the market rate is for that care. So if you end up needing a lot of care or an extended stay in care, the cost can add up. So with this one, you pay as you go, but you don't know how much you'll need. So you kind of have unlimited exposure from that standpoint in terms of your cost. The next one works like this. And I'm going to do kind of a comparison here. This one is called life care. If a community says we offer life care, and the Admiral is admirable too. Right? The Admiral, Katie mentioned earlier, offers life care. So what's that mean? Well, with life care, all other things being equal, you'll probably pay a little more on the front end. Maybe a little higher entry fee, maybe a little higher monthly fee, maybe a blend between the two. But the trade-off is that if you ever need care, you don't pay more for that care. So no matter what, think of it this way, no matter where you are within that community, your monthly rate is your monthly rate. So for people that like predictability, if you like to know, here's sort of what my monthly cost is going to be no matter where I am within that community, it kind of makes it easier to plan. Like you think if you were working with an advisor, you're kind of projecting out different scenarios, you just plug a number in, right? Because no matter where you are, it doesn't change. So that's that predictability. Now that's not to say there can't be inflationary increases. That's true of all of the options that I showed you. But the point is you won't pay more for care if you need it. Okay? So the care is included, in other words. So that's life care. There are some that are a blend of those, and some, I won't spend a ton of time on this, but with this other option, let's just say you'll pay more if you need care, but there will be a bit of a discount on it. Okay? It might say you get X number of days in our healthcare facility at no extra cost. And then after that, you start paying the full rate. Something like that, okay? So that's usually called a modified contract. And then I'm going to show you this last one only for one reason. This is a rental. Remember I said most CCRCs require an entry fee. Most of them. Not all of them. And you may say, well, that's interesting. Why doesn't that have an entry fee? Well, there's some differences. If you find a true CCRC that's purely rental, there's some differences that I won't get into. There's some trade-offs there. But the other thing I'll tell you is that if there's no entry fee, you're going to pay more, quite a bit more, all other things equal. Again, that's an important statement. You're going to pay a lot more right out of the gate.